Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer. Today's beer is right here in my hand. This is from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This says it has Cascade Citra. Aromatic Cascade and Citrus. Whatever. This is from the Danforth Brewery. This is the Viaduct IPA. Danforth Brewery Viaduct IPA. 6% alcohol by volume. The Prince Edward Viaduct, a meticulously crafted landmark at the heart of the development of Toronto's East End Viaduct IPA, is our way of raising a glass to the vital artery that pumped life into Danforth Avenue's vibrant communities. A classic West Coast IPA, Viaduct will freshen your senses with moderate bitterness and a rich aroma of citrus and pine. Is this contract brewed? I don't know if they're actually 6% alcohol by volume, product of Canada. Strong beer, ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, and yeast. I don't know if Danforth Brewing is its own brewery or if they're a contract brewery. It says handcrafted by Danforth Brewery in Toronto, Ontario. So maybe it is its own. I don't know. Toronto just has too many for me to keep up with nowadays. Seriously? Seriously? We're gonna spew all over like that? This was a recent purchase from the LCBO as well, so there's no reason for that. Out of the can, it smells sweet, citrusy, both orange and pineapple and grapefruit. No pine off the can, but that sweet, almost candy-like sweetness that you can get from some IPAs, and then the fruitiness. We're a little hazy crazy, a little orange color. The head is bright white. Huge head. 4 fingers. 4 fingers ahead. There is a snap, crackle, pop, but it's not too impressive. Not a bad looking beer. I mean, from what I can see, that's a nice color to it. The head is a nice head. It's almost like it's doing the Duvel type of head where the bubbles are dissipating into itself, where it's making tunnels and cracks and everything else. Yes, Helga, I see you. Don't worry. I know you're here. I guess we're going to try it. I guess. Cheers. Hello? Very nice beer. Not the greatest IPA I've ever had, not my favorite IPA, but a very well-made beer nonetheless. What am I going to do when you're full grown and you can just push yourself up like this all the time, eh? What am I going to do then? The bitterness is slight. It's there in the back end. It doesn't really hit you until the back end, but at the same time, it is kind of cloying because it's still there right now. It's like chewing on the skin of an orange. So you get that oily bitterness from the orange peel. That pithy bitterness. Nice sweetness up at the forefront, though. Very malty sweet. Somewhat piney, but not really. Just like a slight bit of pine there, and you get that. So you get the orange peel bitterness. You get a nice white grapefruit bitterness that just lasts on the back end as well, and a tiny touch of pininess, as well as a nice sweet forefront. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer at all. I think with the fact that everybody and their brother makes 2 or 3 different pale ales now, it's harder to wow me with a pale ale, with an IPA, an APA, an EPA, just a BPA. It doesn't matter what type of pale ale you make. It just seems harder to wow me because it just seems, even with the amount of different malts and amount of different hops there are allowed to be used, well, not allowed to be used, but available to be used, and just the amount of change you can do with just different adjuncts, different additions, and even the fact that you can change the flavor of your beer by brewing it and fermenting it at a different temperature. The fact that there's all these variables that can be put into it, it doesn't seem like there is a wide range of hops being used. Even though there's over 70 variety of hops, you can probably count with all your digits between your hands and your toes the amount of hops that are normally used in beers nowadays. And I think that's just where it comes down to, is just everything's kind of becoming the same. I mean, yeah, they're going to use different variations of those hops, different amounts of each different hop and all that, putting them in at different times of the boil. But in the end, they're all giving off the same type of flavors. It's just how much of each flavor you're going to get. And it's slightly becoming boring to me. I mean, I still get wowed by some of them, I do. But many of them are like this one. There's no faults in this beer. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not wowed by it. Out of 10 on this beer, give it a 6.75. 6.75 because I wouldn't go out and buy it again, not because there's anything wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this beer. If you live near the Danforth, it's probably a nice little beer to buy. If you live anywhere in Toronto and you can find this, probably a nice little beer to buy. For me, it's just not doing it for me. And that's perfectly fine. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Au revoir. I'll be on toast. See you soon. Bye-bye. Mwah.